Hey everyone, this is Mika with the Permit Empire. I want to thank you all for joining in with me tonight. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I hope everyone is having a productive day. I hope everyone is getting it done, getting it, making it happen, all of that good stuff, right? So I'm gonna jump on in here real quick. You could probably see by the title of this video. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this real quick, right? It's not going to take too long, but the reason I wanted to talk about this, do you need to be certified? Now, I get this question asked all the time. Hey, how you doing? Kay Dorsey, how you doing? Good to see you in here. So, right, I get this all the time, and this is the reason I'm talking about it, because I see that a lot of times people will say, hey, I got to get certified first before I make my first step. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I don't want you to get, kind of caught in that place of saying, hey, I got to get certified first before I take my first step. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I'm glad you're doing fine. I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm having a pretty good week so far. It's Thursday, so hey, going into this weekend, it hasn't rained today. All of that good stuff. Things are working for me today. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Things are working for me today, right? I'm super productive today. So I'm doing pretty good. Um, but yeah, so I wanted to talk about that because here's the thing: you can easily get stuck waiting for that next step, waiting for that next thing, right? So I wanted to talk about the certification of it all, right? And I know a lot of people who I talk to, they tell me that they have gotten their certificate, they've been certified, all of that good stuff, right? So that's where they are. But then I have some people tell me, hey, I didn't get a certification, so I can't do anything until I get that certification first. Real quick, wanted to talk about that, right? Here's the thing with getting certified, no matter who you go through for this, right? Here's the thing about getting certified, it's really the education that matters. It's really the instructions that you get that matter. It is, what am I learning? What's going to help me get to the next step in this business or providing this service? What's going to help me do that, right? Because it's not necessarily the certification that matters. Because I will say, at least here in Florida, you don't need to be certified. Now I understand in some areas like New York, up north, maybe Philly, places like that, you need some type of you need to get approval from your city. You may need to apply for a license. You may need to apply for some type of certification there locally. But in most cases, you don't need a certification. So you shouldn't allow that to stop you from going forward. No, it's what education are you getting? What knowledge are you getting in order to make that next step and to become profitable in this business? And yes, I'm going to say profitable because, hey, that's the whole goal, right? So what is that? Where are you getting that from? No matter who you're getting it from, who are you getting it from? Someone to help you get to that next step. Now, I will say myself too, right? I have no certification. I am not certified. Just am not. I've never taken a course for it. I haven't, right? I just haven't. And that's being really honest about it. I learned how to do permit running through trial and error. That's what happened, through trial and error. I messed up some stuff. Some stuff I got right. I had to learn through the process. I had to learn how to prepare permit packages. I had to get all of that figured out. I had to sit there and educate myself and sit at the building departments and ask more questions. And I had to go from one place to the next, trying to get all the pieces and trying to figure everything out. That's what happened, right? Um, from what I understand, they don't have permit runners here. What I am in South Carolina, but I wonder if I should take the leap of faith and being the first one to do it in my city. I'm originally from upstate New York. All right. See, here's the thing where I go with that too, because it's something that a lot of times people have it done in their office, right? That's a lot of cases. That's what you see. You see a lot of people have it done in their office. It's almost like it's a little secret. Like, I was speaking to another permit runner, and that's what they were saying. It's like it's a secret, right? A lot of times people have that service provided in their office, right in their office. But what happens when you cannot have, or because I'm looking at the market here, I'm looking at that. Hey, Tamika, good to see you in here. I'm looking at how it is here. And sometimes it's hard to get employees. So that's kind of what's helped me out too, is that contractors, they're looking for, hey, you know, I can't fill this position, but I do need this service provided all the time. I always need it, right? Because every project I get, I need to have a permit pulled for that project, right? And not always does that contractor have the time to do it because he's out or she's out looking for new projects, right? So they may contract that out to you. And even if you're the first one, I would still do it. I would still at least put the service out there to see who bites. That's what I would do. I would still introduce myself to clients, contractors, investors. I would still do that because just because you're not hearing about it doesn't mean this isn't something that you can't go out there and do and make some money doing it. It might be good to be the first one in your area doing it. That's what I'm saying. It might be a good thing, a benefit for you, right? So, hey, pioneer it in your area. If it's not there, see what happens. Try it, put it out there. But yeah, so and again, I wanted to just go into that, like, right. So a lot of how I got into, hey Sharon, good to see you in here. So yes, a lot of it is really trial and error. Like I said, I've messed up some things. I have, tried to figure some things out, took a lot of time figuring certain things out. I moved slow, maybe a little bit in this area, didn't charge appropriately. Listen, that's what happened. I am just being very honest about it. That's what happened. I did not do everything right all the time. But through trial and error, hey, I figured some stuff out. Now, so that's why I really want to go back and say it's about the education of it all. It's about learning. It's about, hey, if someone else can help me miss some of those mistakes that I could possibly make, that's what I want to do. Not necessarily that, hey, I have to be certified. Not necessarily that. Because, like, again, like I said, in a lot of areas, you'll see that no certification is needed. So I don't want you to get hung up on that part of it. A lot of cases, no certification is needed. Again, I'm not certified. Not at all. I am not certified, and it has not stopped me from getting clients. It has not stopped me from doing what I'm supposed to do. None of that stuff. Hey, Judith, good to see you in here. Yes, so you called around law office, insurance companies, the whole 9 yards, and nothing, but it's okay. I'm moving to Greenville, South Carolina soon. All right. Put it out there. Just put it out there. Hey, see what happens. That's all I gotta say. But yes, put it out there. Even in some of the larger areas that are around you, put your information out there, right? But yes, so definitely, like I said, I really wanted to jump in here and talk about that. I don't want, anyone to get stuck just because of that. And yes, hey, like I said, it was trial and error. Some things that I messed up on or made mistakes on, of course, I would have loved it if I had someone to give me direction. I would have loved it. Give me some direction, help me out a little bit, point me in the right direction. Okay, these forms don't go here, these forms go there. Okay, this needs to be notarized. Okay, that would have been great, but it didn't necessarily happen that way, right? So through my trial and error, sure, I kind of got it. Like I understand. Sure, there's always going to be something that's new that goes, oh, wait a minute, now this has changed, or oh, now this is something beyond what I'm usually doing. That's fine as long as you get that basic understanding of what it is you're doing. You can grasp that next step in permit running. That's fine. I always encourage everyone to start with some of the smaller projects first, or start with some of the smaller contractors, right? Simply because, not to keep you in a smaller, hey, you can only stay with these people. No, it's a great way to get a real good understanding of the permitting process. It's a good way. And in those instances, let's say you make some mistakes, they may not be so detrimental because they are some of the smaller projects. Like I said, driveways, fence repair, window and door installation, some of the smaller things. It might not be so detrimental if you make a mistake. Something's not right, they'll reject it. You'll get those comments, and then you can start going from there. But now, when you get that down, guess what? You can start getting into some of those larger projects, making some more money, right? Getting some of those things going. But the point was that you already had at least that understanding of how these permits work, right? It wasn't necessarily about the certification. It was, do I have a practical understanding of how this works? Do I have some knowledge of how this works? If you have a certification, by all means, that is a benefit. That's a bonus for you, right? That's a bonus. That's part of your credentials. Hey, I would list that proudly. If I was certified, I would list it proudly. Absolutely. But don't just stop there. Don't just stop there. Don't let it stop you by not having it. And don't just stop there if you do have a certification. Keep moving. Again, it's a benefit. You blast it. That's like a part of your resume. Blast it. Hey, I'm certified, because that way we do what people do see that, hey, you have some education with it. But it goes back to that. That's what that is all about, right? But don't let it get you stagnant if you don't have it, or if you do have it and hey, that's just all I need to do. No, keep learning, right? Keep learning. I am still learning. I'm always learning as I take on bigger projects or different types of projects. I'm learning with that process, but because I have that fundamental understanding of how permits work, it helps me along when I get to a new project that I'm not quite sure what to do. Right? I might not be 100. I may have not done this type of permit before, but I do have an understanding of this is generally the way things work when it comes to permitting, which helps me right along so that I can avoid some of the rejections that come along with those projects, right? I can avoid some of them. I can point out when something isn't quite right, or, oh, okay, I know I'm going to need, a fire permit application, right? In some areas, and I'm going to go to that, right? In some areas, they want, yes, let's say you're installing windows to a property. Well, they also want you to give them a fire permit application, not just the building permit application. They also want a fire permit application. But that is, yes, things you learn as you go along. But as long as you have that basic understanding of what permitting is all about, you can maneuver through those things. You'll know how to look for certain requirements. You'll know how to see, hey, this is what's needed. This is what's going to be needed. Hey, I know that they're going to do this kitchen renovation. That means you're going to have several different permit applications. You're probably going to have a master permit application. You're probably going to have plumbing and electrical, right? But that's what you get as you continue to do it. As you step out there and obtain your first client and obtain your second client, you're getting knowledge, right? That is what you're getting. So don't just stay stagnant because of, oh, I think I'm missing something. No, don't do that, right? Don't do that part, right? Let me read your comment over here. Would you ever start a mentoring program for people who would want to do this? I'm so sorry for all the questions. No, no, no. Don't be sorry for all the questions. I have truly been considering doing a small mentorship program, right? Because I do get that question a lot. I've been thinking about doing that, but I've been a little bit busy. In March, my clientele got a little bit busy. Plus, I took some vacation time off, and then here we are in April. I'm still busy, but I'm definitely considering doing a mentorship program. I also wanted to get past the boot camp too, because I'm doing that workshop next month. So definitely, this is something that I'm considering after, at least after that, I'll be maybe considering something like that. Hey, Sharon, will the contractors know what the required permits needed or will be responsible for knowing? Okay, sometimes they know, right? Sometimes they know. In a lot of cases, they know. In a lot of cases, they know what's needed. But there may be some things that they will ask you about. This is also why I advise to start with some of the smaller contractors first, because what they need may be a little bit more simpler. When you get into these really large renovations or new construction, those projects, a lot of times those people, they do want you to know, those clients, they do want you to know what's needed or what might be needed, right? Sure, they may have their own plans, their engineering, they may have some of those things, but there are things that they're going to be asking you more about when you're dealing with some of the larger projects, right? Nothing to be afraid of, but it is something to just be aware of, that yes, when you're dealing with larger projects, or sometimes that the contractors, they want you to know. And even some of the smaller some of my smaller clients, for the most part, they know what they need to do. But then they'll ask me, so am I going to need an asbestos statement for this? Like, they'll come back and they know that's the reason they're bringing it up, because they have a real good understanding of, okay, I need this or I might need this, right? And in our area, if you're doing like renovations, in a lot of cases, you need an asbestos statement. That's why I'm throwing that out there. But yes, there will be some instances that client, he has everything packaged for you. It's ready to go. I have clients like that too. They don't even really need to ask me anything. The only thing they'll ask me is like, what's the turnaround time for this city? Do you know? But they'll have everything packaged. I literally am picking it up and getting it ran to the building department or uploading it online. That's a lot of times what it is. And this a lot of the time, this is an online process. A lot of it. So it's an online process, right? A lot of it. I just did just now before I I went live. I did 2 permits online in the next county. In the next county for me. I'm not even in the county, I'm not in the area, but in the next county, I was able to submit 2 permits just now. Right here. I didn't go anywhere. I spent no money on gas. And here's the thing, right? My client emailed it to me. They emailed it to me, and then I simply submitted it. And that's what happened. A lot of it's online. But even with that, these online things, even some of my clients will ask me, hey, is this an online permit? Can I just, email it to you? Sometimes, yes, they will want to know that information. They'll, there may be things that they need answered by you. And that's it. But again, don't get stuck. Get out there. Get your feet wet a little bit. Get you some clients. Talk to some people. Talk to some potential clients. Talk to people. Email them. DM them. Listen, I don't stop marketing my services. Me posting on social media isn't as far as I go, right? I'm still reaching out to clients. I still do that. I have clients who reach out to me, but I still reach out to clients as well, right? So we got to do those things. Again, I just wanted to jump in here because I had a conversation. I've had quite a few conversations about the whole certification thing, and I don't want you to get stuck there. That certification is, you utilize it as a benefit. But if you do not have it, don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you, because in a lot of areas, a certification is not needed. But it is hey, post it proud. If you are certified, post that thing proud. Hey, I am certified, and I'm a certified permit runner. I'm a certified permit expediter. Yes, it is. It's a boost. Absolutely. But be concerned about, getting that education, getting out there, getting to the next step, doing those things, right? We should always be growing. We should always be learning, that type of thing. I'm going to get on out of here, but I also want to just make sure, hey, I want to invite you. I want to thank you, first of all of you who have already signed up for the boot camp that's coming up next month, May 13th. And I want to invite you, if you have not, registered for it, go ahead, feel free to register for it. The information's in the chat. You can definitely do so there. We'll really get into the ins and outs of permit running, how to get started, even after you get a client, what do you do, what you should be charging for your client, just even going over some online things. Hey, this will be Zoom as well. So definitely, if you have not been able to sign up and you want to check it out, like I said, again, it's May 13th. Go ahead, sign up, register, go ahead, let's lock it in. And I hope to see you soon. But okay. I'm sorry, Miss Addie. I see you jumped in here. I don't want to forget you here. You said you called several pool contractors today, and you emailed yes, that's right. We should continue to be reaching out. Is the info on my IG as well? It's not on my IG, and I didn't even think about putting it on there. I should go ahead and put it on there, because I'd imagine people will go there and look for it too. But definitely, I'll put it on there too, so that way you can see it at any point, right? But that's good to hear, Miss Addie Virtual Cat. You're doing really good. I'm loving your comments. I'm loving to see that you're making that progress. It's awesome. Very awesome. Okay. All right. Again, thank you all so much for joining into this video. Like I said, I just wanted to jump in here. Let's make some moves. Do not wait. Do not stop. If you are certified, hey, make sure you're blasting it out there. But if you are not, let's keep it moving and let's keep going. Okay. Now, thank you all again so much for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. And again, if you have any comments, you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat, and I look forward to chit-chatting with you later.